Good afternoon, guys, and happy Saturday to all of our sunshiny faces. Guys, I am super exhausted. I got up this morning at 8 o'clock. We went out to the grocery stores, got all our shopping done, all the grocery shopping, everything ready for Father's Day and everything like that. Did really good at Jewel. I think we were under 30 bucks. I think I told you guys we spent like 31 yesterday at Caputo's, which included dinner and pretty much lunch today too, because I think I told you guys we got those mostaccioli, like half pan mostaccioli's for $5, and we had them for dinner last night, but we had pretty much an entire half tray still left over today, so we ended up all heating it up and had it for lunch. And then for dinner tonight, I used that leftover chicken that I cooked. I cooked the whole chicken on Thursday, and it was like a frying chicken, I think, or whole fryer chicken, and ended up using the leftover chicken meat to make into a slow cooker pot pie. Pretty much it's just like you make sort of like the inside and then you do biscuits over the top. And what I found is that if you cook the there's a couple of recipes on like Pinterest and stuff like that that you can look up. For this one, I literally ended up adding a bag of frozen mixed vegetables, my leftover chicken, which was maybe about 2 cups worth, a can of cream of chicken soup, and then I ended up also getting it's called a dinner starter or soup starter or something like that. I think it's either from College Inn or Swanson maybe, or something like that. And basically it has chicken stock in it along with like some other stuff, and it's kind of thicker as well. And so I ended up actually adding that because I couldn't find, they had chicken broth at Aldi. All I needed was 1 can, and I couldn't find the can. So I was like, I don't want to get a whole carton and not obviously use it for like anything else, because I wasn't planning on making anything else that was going to require chicken broth, and I didn't want to have, you know, like over half of a carton left of chicken broth and wind up either having to throw it away or not finding a use for it. So I was like, well, I'll just get a can, and they didn't have any. And they also didn't have what's it called, cream of chicken soup at Aldi. So we ended up going to Menards, and I did find a can of Campbell's, which was like $1.50, which is normally way more money than what I spend for cream of chicken soup. So they were super low last week, and then this week they didn't have any because I think I needed like 2 cans or something like that. So anyways, they didn't have any this week. They had a bunch of cream of mushroom soup, but no cream of chicken. So went to Menards, got that, and then I was looking for a can of chicken broth. They didn't have any chicken broth that I saw anywhere, but I saw this and I was like, ooh, it kind of looks like, it actually had a recipe on the back that was for chicken pot, or 1 pot chicken pot pie pasta, I think it was called. And so I was like, well, that's kind of the same thing as I'm making. Everybody said it was really good. It already had like spices and seasonings in it. I think pretty much it's just like you add, it's like a starter sort of, so you add that along with like your other like ingredients, your chicken, your vegetables and stuff like that, and then you add it over pasta, and so it's like kind of more of a sauce. And I was like, this would actually probably work really well for chicken pot pie in the slow cooker. So I ended up adding it's like a small carton, it's not like a big like normal like it's like half carton size, I guess, of this stuff. And so I added that. I probably didn't even need to use the cream of chicken soup, just because it was like, it thickened it up so much more because of that. And then ended up adding biscuits over the top, and normally I add the biscuits for like a half an hour to an hour on high at the end, and they cook in the crock pot. So I ended up getting the biscuits at Aldi, and just like I said, added those over the top, and they cooked in there. So that was what dinner was for tonight, and I think there's honestly only like 2 servings left, so that can be leftovers for somebody for lunch maybe tomorrow or later or something like that. So I ended up doing that. So like I said, we had that for dinner tonight. But we went to the grocery stores, went to Valley Produce, where we spent about, I think, also under $30, maybe it was like 20 something. And then at Jewel, again, we were under 30, I think just barely, it was like 29 or something like that. And then at Aldi we spent under 100 bucks, I think it was like 90 something. So we had leftover grocery money this week, which was awesome. We ended up getting pretty much also everything for Father's Day. My mom also ended up going out to the dollar store because she needed to get some stuff. So she came back with some balloons and a couple other things that we're getting my dad for Father's Day. But guys, what's supposed to come in, I think like less than 2 weeks, I think just a little over a week, like I think in the next 8 days, I believe it was, that we ordered. My dad is actually a portable projector. It still has to be plugged in, I believe, but it is like a projector screen, or projector. And then we also bought a screen as well that we're gonna mount outside so that we can do outside movies, just because it was something that we were all kind of like, we've wanted to do, and stuff like that. And like my dad has like, I think maybe I told you guys last year, my dad kind of hooked up like one of the little TVs so we could bring it actually outside, and we watched, I think we watched Monday Night Football game for the Bears last year, and we watched like one Cubs game last year, but so that we can watch like outside movies and, you know, that kind of stuff outside. We're gonna actually get that for him for Father's Day, but we ordered it today, so it's coming a little later. And then me and Matthew ended up actually going in together, and we ended up getting my dad, he wanted both a bucket hat and also a like straw hat sort of, and because he wanted the bucket hat more for like football, but also sort of the straw hat, I guess, too, just because he was like, when I work outside it is really hot, because we were actually talking about, they were doing like construction outside, and I was like, I don't know that I would be able to, like, especially lately, it's like been 90 degrees out, you know, it's like several days in a row. I was like, I don't think I'd be able to like stand like, you know, being like dealing with like blacktop where it's already hot and stuff like that. Like we were talking about that, and my dad's like, I know when I have to, like, you know, he does electric outside and stuff like that, and he's like, you know, it's just, it's hot and exhausting to be outside, like, you know, working and stuff like that. And, you know, my dad has like work pants on and stuff, and like a t-shirt pretty much, so that's, you know, and he's got his boots on, and he's like, he's like, I never realized how worth like having like, you know, some type of shade hat would be. So we wanted to get that because Matthew has one that he always brought to football, and I think my dad saw all of the younger coaches. My dad is like literally the oldest coach too, so I think seeing like all the younger coaches wearing bucket hats, he was like, oh, I want a bucket hat too. But he also like a straw hat too, just for like working, like for actual work, for, you know, like, you know, when he's outside and stuff like that. So me and Matthew, like I said, went in together kind of and are getting that for him, but we ordered everything tonight, so it's not gonna come, because originally I told my mom one thing. I was like, oh, we should look into getting this thing for him, but she ended up deciding like that this might be a better thing, especially this year too, because of COVID and everything like that. You know, we haven't been out to the movies in, goodness, I don't even know what the last thing we ended up seeing was. I think honestly the last thing I saw was maybe last year, was either Spider-Man or when we took the little boy we were babysitting for to go see Toy Story 4. I think that was the newest one that came out. I lost track, guys. That, I don't remember which one came out first, but I know it was like right around the same time, and it was like July maybe or something like that of last summer. So it was, again, like, you know, kind of almost a year ago. We haven't been out to the movie since. So and we were talking about getting a projector for a while, like something to actually watch outside. We were talking about just doing it like on the garage door, but then we were like, but it's like kind of, you know, we're fixing up our backyard to make it nice and fun to be outside and sit outside and all that kind of stuff. And so again, we were talking about doing that, but then we were like, but every single time that we want to watch something outside, we'd have to move all the cars, and, you know, on top of that too, like, it feels more like private sort of sitting in our backyard with our fence, instead of like sitting in the driveway where it's projected onto our screen and like our neighbors can see, and anybody driving by can like watch the movie with us sort of. And so, not that we wouldn't, you know, be able to have like people over in our backyard and stuff like that, but it's just like, you know, it'd be facing our house, so it's like, I guess, a little bit more private sort of. Instead of, again, projecting it for the whole neighborhood to see. And I told you guys too, like, especially the last day or two, I've been like sitting outside a lot too, and I was like, this feels like such just like an extension of our house, like an extra room. And especially now that we have the lights on out there and stuff like that, those little like fairy lights sort of, they're little like tiny globe lights outside that we got put up. I showed you guys, was that yesterday maybe? So yeah, like, you know, it makes it feel like it's an extension of the house, and that's like what we want, is to make it feel like it's just like another room, like we can go out there if we want to go and sit and go and do something and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's what we're getting my dad for Father's Day, but it's not going to be here for a couple of days, and everything's supposed to kind of come at different times. The other thing I ended up getting too, since we were all placing an Amazon order at once, was I ended up ordering a new planner, because the planner I was looking at, I really like it, and it's supposed to be from, I think it's maybe June through like June or something like that of next summer. So because my planner runs out in July, so I was looking at one that I know I want to get, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one at the store, and I haven't gone to a store that normally, like, I found them at Joann's, the kind that I like, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and Walmart. All the other stores that I've been to, like, I haven't loved the layouts, and again, I don't know if I'll be able to find one that I like, so I was like, well, I'll look at Amazon, since I haven't been out to any of those stores recently, and I also, again, don't know what I'll be able to find out at the stores. I was like, I'll look for one on Amazon. So I actually found one for only 10 bucks, and it's a full year's worth, and it's laid out like I really think that I'll like, from, again, what I was able to look through the pictures and everything like that. So I ended up getting that as well. So everything's supposed to, like, come on a different day. It's not all going to be here at the same time. So anyways, yeah, that's Father's Day stuff. But on top of that too, my mom's actually in her office right now. We finished painting the last wall, guys. I think I was showing you guys yesterday. We just had started priming it. Actually, the whole thing's done. Me and my dad were able to actually get the molding on the bottom all finished and everything like that as well. And we, like, Jack, I think, just didn't finish painting the door, but I told you guys too, we're probably gonna get a new door as well at some point, so it's not a huge big deal. But that got done today, which was awesome.